So this is the Metabo HPT sliding bevel miter saw. And as soon as I took this thing out of the box, first thing that I noticed is this thing is massive, okay? It's very deep, very wide, very heavy, weighs in around 55 pounds. I knew I was getting a 12-inch miter saw, but I just did not realize how large this would be. But the quality right out of the box seems really, really good. Now, if you're ever looking at Metabo tools and you might see Metabo or Metabo HPT, you might say, what's the difference? Metabo HPT is basically the new brand that was purchased by Metabo when they bought out Hitachi. So when you see this is essentially a Hitachi saw, just now under the Metabo flagship brand. A couple of notes about the assembly of this saw. First, you get a little bit of extended table use right here. You just have to loosen a set screw, put these in on the left and the right, and then tighten that set screw back. Gives you a little bit more stability when you're cutting down longer stock. You also get this clamp, which does not require a set screw. As you can see, this just kind of lifts in and lifts out. There's a hole in the back of the saw that this drops in, and then once you tighten this down on your workpiece, it's going to make sure that that stock stays in place, is not moving, which is really, really important for miter saws. I've shared this story before on the channel, but the closest I ever came to an injury in woodworking didn't actually happen near the table saw or near a router table. It happened near a miter saw when I was cutting down some shorter stock. I didn't have one of these clamps, and I didn't have the $10 million stick that I talk about a lot on the channel as well. Didn't have that, and I was going to make a cut. The workpiece came loose, flew out of my hand, and my hand just kind of reacted. I did like this, but if my hand had gone a different direction, it could have got up in the saw blade, which would have been a serious injury. So all that to say, this clamp is a great feature, and you can put it on the left or the right side of the saw. One more thing that you need to do during assembly is put your back support in. You just loosen a set screw, drive this in. What this is going to do is keep your saw from wanting to tilt backwards, maybe when you're moving the bevel back or making some adjustments on your saw. Just going to give you a little bit more stability. And then, of course, you can drop some lag bolts or some carriage bolts through your workbench and make sure that this saw is completely set so it's not moving around on you when you're trying to make some cuts. Very important that you have stability set up with your miter saw. One more note about this saw is that it has the vertical hand grip as opposed to the horizontal hand grip. Most miter saws, maybe even all miter saws that I've used, have had the grip where your hand is horizontal, kind of over to the side. I've used DeWalt miter saws like that. I've used Milwaukee miter saws that have that grip. But honestly, this already feels more comfortable to me, especially with a sliding compound miter saw. I just think that's going to be really, really comfortable in the hands, and this grip feels really, really good. Oh, also, one more thing, another safety feature that I really love is that there is essentially a safety right here next to your trigger. I'm a really big fan of that. Just one more safety layer, basically, to keep you from firing up this saw unintentionally. As far as adjustments for this saw go, the miter adjustments, pretty similar to most miter saws in that you would make all your tightening and loosening right down here. There is a little lever that you can press down and avoid all of your positive stops. And then once you tap this green tab, it's going to stop at your positive stops. And then once you're locked in, you just lock this handle down. As far as the bevel adjustment goes, you have two things you have to do. First, you pull out this pin, this set pin that keeps you at 90 degrees from your saw base. Then you have to lift this into the unlocked position, and then you can adjust your bevel angle. I will say when it comes to adjusting the bevel angle, I think this is going to get better over time, but it's very, very stiff. There's also an adjustment screw you can loosen back here to make that adjustment a little bit easier. You want it to be snug. I just think it needs to kind of be loosened up a little bit. If you don't want your blade to come all the way down, of course, you have this adjustment right here that you can adjust the depth of your cut, and you can also adjust the overall depth of your cut with this hex screw right here. When it comes to dust collection, we're going to, of course, fire the saw up in a second. I was kind of disappointed with the dust port. Now, I know that most miter saws, it's almost impossible to get good dust collection just because of the nature of the way miter saws are designed. It's not like a table saw where you can really trap most of the dust. It's really kind of a stretch anyways. Comes with this dust bag, which I don't know, maybe we'll do something, but I did not have anything in my shop that could attach to this dust port. I have a Festool dust extractor. I have an adapter for that Festool dust extractor. Neither one of those would fit that port. I have a rigid shop vac, didn't fit that port. So I'm going to kind of look around to see if I can find an adapter for this saw. But yeah, it was kind of frustrating that there was, even after all the adapters and stuff I have in my shop, there was nothing that would hook up to this dust port. Not the biggest fan of that. This saw also has an LED light that's going to throw a shadow where your blade is going to make the cut. Earlier versions of this saw had a red laser line, but Metabo has kind of shifted to using this shadow line right here, which honestly is probably going to be a little bit more accurate and a little bit more difficult to knock out of alignment. So I think I like that, and of course we'll test that in just a second. After using the saw for a little bit, unboxing it, here are the things that I love about this miter saw. One, the overall quality is really, really good, from the casting to the grips to the features, the way things adjust. I really, really like. At first, I didn't think I liked this miter adjustment system, but honestly, after just a couple of cuts, it's very intuitive. For quick and easy adjustments. All the positive stops are great. So I love the quality. I love the miter adjustment system. And I also am a big fan of the LED shadow cut marker. As I was making some cuts, I was noticing that my blade was tracking perfectly with that shadow line. That shadow line, it stays there throughout the entire stroke of the cut. I think there were some problems with the older version of the saw with that laser, that as you brought the saw blade down, the laser would disappear. Not a huge deal. That's being pretty nitpicky, but I like that you can see that shadow line all the way through the cut. This saw is plenty powerful. Never felt like it was getting bogged down on any of the cuts that I made. Also, this saw gives you plenty of cut capacity. I was cutting an 11¼ inch board at one point, 11¼ inches wide. Had no problem. It wasn't having to make half a cut and flip the board over. In fact, I believe the cut capacity for a 0° cut on this saw is 12¼ inches. That's really, really good. So you're getting great cut capacity with this saw. Things that I'm not really a fan of, and there's kind of different levels to this, but number one is dust collection. I was actually kind of mildly surprised in a good way by the dust collection of this dust bag. It caught more dust than I thought it would. You can kind of see, of course, there's still some sawdust that escaped, which is to be expected with a miter saw, especially when you're using just a dust bag. But I was really just disappointed with the fact that the dust port isn't like a standard size. I don't know. I just kind of didn't like that a lot. I'm also not a huge fan of the bevel system. Just a little bit stiff, in my opinion. Not a huge deal, but yeah, definitely not a fan of the way that system works. One more thing that's a little bit nitpicky is the fact that, as far as I know, unless I'm just missing something, and if I am, let me know in the comments, you can't turn this LED light off. If this thing is plugged in, that LED light's on. So if I want to turn that LED light off, I have to unplug the power cord. I really wish there was like a toggle switch or something up here so I could turn that light on and off. And then finally, the thing that I wasn't a huge fan of with this saw is the time it takes for the saw to come to a stop. It was about 4 to 5 seconds from the time that I let go of the trigger to the time that this blade came to a complete stop. Now, I will say this guard has some great action. So as soon as you start lifting the saw up, that blade guard really quickly covers the blade. But I really would love to see that saw blade stop a good bit quicker. That's just a good thing that I always look for, really, with any kind of power tools. Not a huge deal. I mean, it's not terrible, but I just would like to see it be a little bit quicker. Overall, though, I'm a huge fan of this saw. I'm really glad that I invested in this bigger miter saw for my shop. You can get miter saws down to a blade size of like 7¼ inches. You know, you can get some really small miter saws, but in my opinion, it's just nice to have the capacity to cut through some of that larger stock, some of that, you know, bigger material, especially with the sliding feature. I just think that is very, very handy. So I'm really glad I picked up this saw. Really, I think the next upgrade I would even consider making from this miter saw would be to go to the Festool Capex miter saw, which, I don't know, in my opinion, is just kind of the gold standard. I've never had one, so maybe I'm wrong on that, but yeah, I think that's the only saw that I think is worth the upgrade from this Metabo HPT. If you think I missed something about this saw, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback because I'm still totally new to the Metabo family. I also picked up a drill and impact driver from Metabo HPT. It was kind of a bundle set from Amazon Prime, so I picked these up together. Got a pretty good deal. If you want me to do a review on this drill driver set, let me know. And if you want my thoughts on Metabo as a whole, as I start using them more and getting more familiar with this family of tools, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, check out one of these two videos. Can't wait to see you there.